you know, we have been waiting for a while for the true post-pandemic era of theaters and the movie theater industry to return. Because as we said year and a half, 2 years ago, Rob, that even once the pandemic is in the rearview mirror, we are going to be feeling the long tail effects of the pandemic because of production and rearranged schedules and getting people back in the habit of going to the movie. We said for a long time, we were still going to be living in the effects of the pandemic. And while we've had the odd big major hit, A24 had their biggest film of all time with Everything Everywhere All at Once. Spider-Man No Way Home made $1.9 billion. Top Gun Maverick came out, made $1.4 billion at the box office. There has still been clear signs that we're not out of the pandemic drudgery yet. But as we talked on the show yesterday, March, this is a packed month for movies, man. You get into April, May, June. I mean, we are looking at schedule-wise getting back into pre-pandemic era releases. But now IMAX, an industry leader in the world of the theatrical industry, they are now forecasting that we are going to see the box office this year return to pre-pandemic pre-pandemic numbers, they said. We'll go over to my screen here for a second. They said the following. They said, IMAX said today that it expects to return to its pre-pandemic gross box office level of $1.1 billion. This is just for IMAX in 2023, even as it reported revenue of $98 million for last year's fourth quarter, down 10% from the year before. Earnings per share fell to 19 cents from 31 cents. I'm going to be probably myself buying some IMAX stock. CEO Rich Glenfold attributed the dip to the Chinese box office, which is critical to IMAX and was still in recovery mode until late last year. Avatar: The Way of Water opened in mid-December, day and date in China, where the market surged since, he said. With a 180-degree turn in just a few months, the film, the highest grossing first-run IMAX release of all time with more than $253 million, basically reopened and jump-started the Chinese market, Glenfold said during a conference call. So IMAX here, who's a major player in the film industry, I mean, they're not AMC, and but they're a different kind of thing. They're saying, when we look at the release schedule and we look at the audience patterns, we believe that this is the year that finally we get back to the pre-pandemic numbers. Rob, I've also believed that 2023 is going to be the year we get back to the pre-pandemic numbers, but there's a big gap between belief and seeing it. And I think this month, well, I don't believe there's any billion-dollar films coming out in March. I don't believe any of them are billion-dollar films.
No.
But when you look at the lineup we have coming in March, it's Creed, Shazam, John Wick, I mean, it goes on. I think we're going to get a good indicator of where we're really at, because this is going to be the first month in a long time that we've truly had a fully fleshed out release month of movies. And we're going to get an idea, because if these films all perform well, I think it bodes well. If all these films come in where Shazam does less than the first Shazam, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. If John Wick 4 doesn't do as well as the other John Wick films, if Creed 3 does not do as well as the other Creeds, that could be a worrisome sign. But anyway, what do you think about IMAX's prediction, and do you think they're right?
Yes, dude. I mean, this is all good. And IMAX, I'll tell you something. The more people, like, I love the fact that I just like going to IMAX theaters to see movies on the biggest screen possible, even if they're not shot in IMAX. You know, I was at the premiere for Picard season 3, and they show the first 2 episodes on that IMAX screen at the Chinese theater.
Oh, wow.
And seeing it big like that, it just makes it more fun. I mean, when I was a kid, I'd go to there really weren't multiplexes. There were the single big box screens, and then a lot of them were multiplexed out. God bless Nicole Kidman. But nowadays, going back to those theaters, I'll see anything at those IMAX theaters. But I think that, John, when was the last time we had you know what the thing about this schedule for March is? Beginning with Cocaine Bear, these movies are all fun. You know, they're not movies it's not like Merchant Ivory presents The Remains of the Day 2. You know, it's not something like that. We're getting Creed, we're getting John Wick, we've got Quantumania, we got Cocaine Bear. It's a party.
Scream 6.
It's a party at the movie theaters again. And so every time you're going, everyone's going to see kick-ass fun movies. It puts a smile on your face. You know, you're not going to watch, not that I would go. I love Schindler's List, but it's not that. We're getting a bunch. I'm telling you, that's what they should do. They should launch a campaign. It's a party at your multiplex this week. Cocaine Bear. I mean, it's, and we've got that every month. March, April, May, June, July. See, I'm partying just like that tonight at the theater. I mean, it's great. I think it's great. And IMAX, I think IMAX is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries because so many people have gone to IMAX cinemas to see Way of Water that they're going to go back and see whatever's there because the presentation's so great.
By the way, and then in April, we're looking at things like Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, yeah.
Which looks baller. We got Mario coming out, Super Mario World. We've got Renfield, which I think is going to be a surprising little hit.
Yeah.
I think because that trailer I think was bonkers. Then we got the first trailer yesterday for The Pope's Exorcist, which I am now suddenly very enthused about, and that's all just April. Anyway, things look good. Guys, question is for you. IMAX is saying that 2023 will be the year that we return back to pre-pandemic form. Do you agree with them? Do you think it's still a little bit off? Maybe it's 2024, or do you think March, April, May, these will be the months that tell us definitively? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Fume. Be smart. Don't start. Kick the habit. Put it out before it puts you out. All phrases we've heard 100 times, and yet we still continue to have bad habits. Today's sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. You see, Fume is not a vape. It's a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. Because instead of pods filled with potentially harmful chemicals like a vape, Fume uses cores infused with plants like peppermint and cinnamon for delicious natural flavors. And Fume's new version 2 model is snappy and tactile. With an adjustable airflow dial and a magnetic end cap, your fingers will always have something to do. The device itself is really attractive, and once I popped in the core and took my first inhale of it, it tasted fantastic. Guys, the easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one, and Fume is designed to perfectly do just that. So head over to tryfume.com and use the promo code Campea to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. The Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors and the new version 2 Fume to help kickstart your positive habits. That's tryfume, tryfum.com, and use the code Campea to save an additional 10% off your order today.